Hello, friends. This is Dave Hurwitz, executive editor at ClassicsToday.com, here with the greatest recordings ever. And today I'm talking about a recording I've mentioned many times in other contexts, but I've never given it the individual treatment that I think it deserves. So here's my chance. The work in question is Mozart Symphony No. 39, and the performance is Otto Klemperer with the Philharmonia and New Philharmonia orchestras. I think it's the Philharmonia with this one. I don't care. It doesn't matter. It's unbelievable. Yes, it's the Philharmonia. It's just incredible. And I'm going to tell you why. Let's think about the work, first of all. Mozart's 39th Symphony is the first in the trilogy of final symphonies that he wrote. The other two are vastly more famous. Number 40 is the G minor symphony. It doesn't have a nickname, but it really sort of does have a nickname. It's the G minor symphony. And it's so powerful and pathetic, in a good sense, pathetic meaning full of pathos and extraordinary and Mozartian. It's like the signature Mozart piece. It really is. It's in his personal minor key, ends in the minor key. It's extraordinary. Absolutely extraordinary. The Jupiter is the Jupiter. You know, it's got the fugal finale thing and full of pomp and majesty. And even though the title is stupid and has absolutely nothing to do with the sense of the music, and it wasn't Mozart's, by the way, it has that title and everybody knows it. And 40 and 41 make excellent disc mates. So now that everything is streaming, it doesn't matter. But back in the day, it was really convenient to put 40 and 41 together on a disc. 39 usually showed up with the Prague 38, which wasn't nearly as popular. And, you know, it sort of fell between the cracks. But it is an extraordinary work, number 39 is. I mean, it's the symphony which uses clarinets instead of oboes as the principal woodwind voice. It's an E-flat major. It's the emblem of euphony. That wonderful word. It's euphonious. It's so euphonious. It's so beautiful. And Mozart, we talk about line guys and chord guys, right? Line guys like polyphony and clarity of multiple parts. Chord guys like vertical sonority, harmony, richness of texture. Well, 39 is a symphony by a line guy who's pretending to be a chord guy. In other words, it has that clarity of texture and clarity of line. It has to. It's late Mozart and all of his music does that. But he was also an incredible colorist. And this symphony has a character, a color, a tinta, as Verdi would say. It's absolutely special and incredibly beautiful. And performance is a great performance of the symphony, has to bring out those special qualities. And Klemperer does just that. And he does it in two ways. I wish I could play samples. I can't because of copyright restrictions. I'll get my ears chewed off or something and sued. And, the whole thing will get somehow, it's death to attempt it, which is horrible because all it would do you would hear it, you would immediately rush out and buy it if you don't own it. You really would. I mean, it's that good. But what Klemperer does two things. First of all, Klemperer was himself a line guy. He was no way was he a colorist. He was not. He wanted clarity, and he wanted clarity by highlighting woodwind parts. That's how you do clarity in symphonic orchestration, particularly in the classical period. It helps a lot. I mean, that doesn't mean that the strings are thrust into the background or anything like that. It means that there's this supernatural balance, and you hear what everyone is doing. And it's a performance of a clarity that I think, puts period instrument people to shame. It really does. Because coupled with Klemperer's feeling for woodwind color, which means the special color of this particular symphony, especially coming from the clarinets, is the fact that his tempos are moderate. Now, Klemperer was known for being a slow guy. As he got older, he got slower. He did. And some things he did were just excruciatingly slow. like Mahler Seventh and some late Bruckner and stuff like that, where he really should have retired, frankly. But that wasn't the case here. Here, the tempos are perfectly judged to allow you to hear what's going on in the texture. And that, my friends, is the whole point. Because the colors that Mozart imbues, with which Mozart imbues the music, let me get my grammar unscrambled, are really, really exceptional. Even in places, think about the minuet. Jump, 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 jump. You know, it's calliope music, merry-go-round music, basically. And these days, especially with the period instrument people, it's played with a dryness and a speed and just a lack of jollity, of personality. It's just notes and rhythm and monotonous rhythm. But when Klemperer does it, oh my, it's so much fun to listen to. You can savor each chord, but he never sacrifices the basic linearity of the music. That's what makes it so great. And the finale is even more of a case in point. The opening, da-da-da-da-da-dum-bum-ba, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum. It's a very tough tune to wrap your brain around, in the sense that it passes by very swiftly. And these days, most people play it much too quickly. It's what is the point of that? You've got to hear the harmony. You've got to hear the articulation of the melody. You want to have a chance to take it in and respond to it. And then there's that sort of German dance motion music. Jump, jump, cha-da-da-da-dum, bump, ba-da-da-da-dum, bump, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-da-da-da-dum, ba-ba-ba-ba-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. It can have so much fun. You can just have so much fun listening to it, listening to the way it's scored, listening to the inner parts going. It has so much more excitement when it's not too fast, when it doesn't pass by in a blur. Today the period instrument people will go jump, 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 it's horrible. I mean, it's really, really horrible. Aside from the fact that it makes the whole symphony seem out of balance, because you don't have time to hear anything. It just flits by as sort of an insubstantial nothingness. It's crazy. And the symphony really has a problem. The problem is the very end, which is a bit of an anticlimax. I mean, remember the final chords. Even most symphonies end with chords. Bum, bum, something emphatic. This symphony is yada-da-da-da-dum. That's the end. It's very abrupt. And when you play it too quickly, it sounds even more anticlimactic and abrupt. And, Klemperer just gets it. He gets it. You don't feel as though there's a conductor at all. You feel that you are in tactile, one-on-one communion with the music itself, with the spirit of Mozart. So, look, I mean, it's just, I just felt it was time that this symphony got some of the love that it deserves, because it's a glorious masterpiece, and also this performance, which needs to be savored. Just put it on, do nothing else, and let it roll over you. You will be amazed. I guarantee it. You'll make a wonderful new friend of a work that you thought you knew. So keep on listening, friends. Thanks for joining me. Take care.